Yo, what up guys? Travic here, and today I want to talk about farming and making currency in Settlers 2, or Settlers Necropolis League, or Necropolis Settlers. A lot of you guys have reached out and say, hey man, I don't know what to do. Divines are completely crazy. Everything's out of control. I'm not really sure what to do. How do I make currency? What should I do? What should I not do? Can you help? Can you walk me through it? Do you have any ideas? And well, today I'm going to kill my own market because I know there's a lot of you guys struggling and a lot of you guys could use a little bit of like encouragement, and you're just kind of looking for something to get your foot in the door and get the currency rolling. Now, if you are familiar with the Settlers market and Necropolis Settlers, you understand that a lot of players are chasing the Divines, they're chasing the Lantern mods, they're chasing map after map, and it's a little stressful, it's a little struggling, and it's come to the point where chaos is pretty much worthless. You look at the cost of divines, and at the current moment of recording, divines are about 340, 350, and on that's on trade. And if we come on over to Faustus, we could take a look at divines, and divines are just so much more. They're about 360, 370, pushing as high as 380. I've even seen divines get as high as 390 in this league, and it becomes it's a little daunting and a little crazy and a little hectic. A lot of players look at the economy and they go, I can't do it, I'm out, this is too much, I can't be bothered, like what am I supposed to do, how do I get my foot in the door? And I'm here to tell you that it is okay. One of the things that I've learned very quickly in this league is to absolutely positively not chase the chaos orbs. Do not go map to map trying to chase these tumbling wealths. While it is indeed good, there are a million other possible things that you can be doing. In today's video, we're going to be covering Blight, but Essence is really good, logbooks are really good. Pretty much anything that is not chasing chaos orbs will make you an absolute metric ton of currency, and I encourage you to explore all different other mechanics and try and see what it brings in. Today, though, we're going to be talking about the market that I have been, messing around with, and to nobody's surprise, it is indeed Blight. Blight has absolutely served me very well. It serves me very well every single league. I spent a lot of my time doing Blight. I spent a lot of my time inside and outside of Blight maps, and I spent a lot of my time juggling and selling oils. Oils is a very big market, even in Settlers Necropolis League. Just taking a look now, Crimson oils are about 10C a piece. And if I come on over to Faustus and I just look really quick here and I put the red oils in, you can see there's not even competing, or there's competing trades, but there's not even a stock available for you to buy Crimson oils. So you could actually just like set up your oils and like buy. Usually when there's a market, oils are about 15C each. They're about 5C higher than the normal trade market. And the same thing goes to the black oils. Black oils are about 19, 20C, 25C is probably where they sit on the regular trade site. And if I were to put them in here, you see they easily push as high as 30C right away without many issue at all. The same thing goes for opalescent oils. We see opalescent oils are about 40, 50C each. Coming on here, we can buy opalescent oils for about 30C each, 20, 30, 35C each. There's competing trades for 45C each. You can get and buy a lot of oils and manipulate the market in a very favorable fashion with oils and farming Blight maps to your favor. Even things like silver oils are about 100. I mean, that guy selling at 120C is crazy. Like, I'm about to buy those as soon as I end this video if they're still there and relist them for 160. That's crazy. But even silver oils are through the roof. You could see you could sell your silver oils to a divine. If I'm buying silver oils for chaos and they're 120, 150 chaos each, and then I'm relisting them for divines, I'm making literally a ton of money. But this is what I mean. I'm killing my own market. But you can see very quickly the oil market is not very saturated. There are a ton of players that need a lot of oils, and there's a lot of Blight farmers that, there's not enough oil to meet demand, especially with a bunch of players playing in Settlers League, getting new gear, getting new upgrades, getting new rings, getting new amulets, and just being able to progress the game and, make some profit. Other things to note too, your regular standard Blighted maps are about 40, 50, 60C each because nobody's really farming them. Everybody's too busy chasing the actual, the chaos from the tumbling well. You could just spend a lot of your time, and I've done this, just farming basic Blighted maps, and inside of a map, making 30, 40, 50, 60C a map, getting 5 or 6 or 7 maps in a regular map and just kind of going bananas. Farming Blighted maps is really good because any map that's tier 13 or greater will drop you golden oils, which is a nice little breakpoint to be doing. So if you're inside of red maps, you just had Blight tier, Blight to your Atlas tree and start farming. Tier 16 Blighted maps are really nice, and they're a little bit more expensive because they can indeed drop your Conqueror maps, they could drop your Shaper Elder maps, they could drop your Tier 17 maps. So Tier 16 Blighted maps and farming a bunch of Tier 16 Blighted maps is really good. Now in the description of this video, I'm going to be including for you an Atlas tree that will really just kind of help you get the ball rolling. And if you haven't already done, I've done plenty of videos on Blight and Blight farming. So if you haven't hit that subscribe button or turn on that notification bell, you want to make sure that you don't miss out on all those videos that, give you the ins and outs of Blight. But today, as we've mentioned so far, we've talked about oils, we've talked about Blight farming, and now we'll just kind of go over this Atlas tree a little bit. Essentially, the basics of this Atlas tree does two very important things. One, it gives us all of the Blight nodes, which are really impactful and really important. And two, it's giving us a couple of Essence nodes. For me, Essence is one of my favorite things to farm and one of the strongest things to farm, and it's something very easily that you can pair with Blight. You can run around your map, you can do your Blight, you can find the one Essence, you blow up the one Essence, you get some extra Essences, and it adds just a little bit of extra profit. You don't need to do the Essence, you can do pretty much anything else that you want, but I'm a big fan of Essence. Looking at the Blight nodes, there are two very important things to note. One is you have to decide, are you going to be a Blight map farmer or are you going to be a salvage tower farmer? I personally am a big fan of salvage towers, but if you're not, then that is okay. If you're going to just target Blighted maps, you want to do those nice indoor maps, you want to do those toxic sewer maps, and if you're going to be targeting those salvage towers, you want to make sure that you do a nice wide open area. I've done an extensive video on salvage towers and how they work, but a quick overview goes like this. Blight towers in your maps can be salvaged after the Blight encounter. So that means every time that you do a Blight encounter, there's going to be a bunch of little towers and you can salvage them and break them down. Higher tier towers grant better salvage rewards. What that means is the higher the tower, or tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, the higher the tower, the more rewards that you'll get, or the more loot that will pop out of that tower. This is very important, so you want to make sure that you upgrade your towers, and salvage rewards are improved for each different type of tower. So that means if you build a bunch of different types of towers, you'll get more loot and better loot. So if you build, say, a freezing tower, and that's the only tower, you'll only get one type of loot, or you'll get very minimal loot. If you build a freezing and an arc tower, you'll get two different types of towers and two different types of loot. And the more different types of tower that you build, the more different types of loot. Now, if you ever have done a Blight map, you'll know right away there are 6 different types. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? There's 6 different tower types, and they all go level 1 through 3. And then at level 4, they become 2 different towers. So each tower has its 3 different types. So that makes like 18 different towers. So the more different towers. So essentially, like, for example, an electricity tower, the electrical tower, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 are all the lightning or electrical tower, whatever it's called. And then tier 4 is the shock and the arcing tower. So you can have an electrical tower, a shocking tower, and an arcing tower, which is 3 different types, which gives you more loot. So you'd have a tier 3 tower that would give you loot, and then you'd have 2 different tier 4 towers, and that would be 3 different types of towers that would give you loot. That's how it's worked in my testing. That's how I've gotten the best results, is building as many different towers as I can of all the different types. But if you're not doing that, then you don't need to worry. You just do closed farming Blight strategy maps. Immune response is a really good node. It gives you more non-unique monsters, and monsters spawn faster, more monsters in the Blight lanes, more rewards that come out of the, out of the explosion, and the more overall loot that you're going to get. We pair this with epidemiology so that 3 Blight chests on our map are lucky, and it gives us the 20% chance to be opened again. If you run a lot of Blight maps, you'll know this kind of ticks off and kind of goes off a whole lot, which is really nice. You'll just be doing a Blight encounter, you'll get a bunch of rewards, you'll click them, they'll open up 3 or 4 times each in a map, and it's really nice. 20%, I mean, 20% is a low percentage amount, but you'd be surprised at how often 20% hits. We take sturdy construction here so that Blight monsters in your map take 12% increased damage. Ichor pump has 100% durability. I really like this entire wheel a lot, especially if your character's a little bit weaker. It makes the monsters a little bit easier to deal with. Cassius Pride has been a node that I've been very on the fence about. Sometimes I really like Cassius Pride, and sometimes I really don't like Cassius Pride. Cassius Pride says Blight monsters in your map take 75% less damage from you, the player, and take 300% more damage from towers. The reason why this is good is if you have a lot of towers, you can really control your lanes. But if you get really unlucky and you get very few towers, well, then you're in a really bad spot. I really don't like Cassius Pride overall. Sometimes I take it, sometimes I don't. It kind of depends on how I'm feeling and if I'm feeling spicy or not. I would say experiment and play with Cassius Pride and see if you like it or not. Over here, we have Fungal Horizons. Blight chests in your map have a 60% chance to contain Blighted maps. This is the absolute bread and butter. You absolutely positively need this. This is how we get all of those beautiful Blighted maps inside of our Blight encounter, and it is absolutely positively something that you should be taking. This also gives you something called Blight Reach. Blight Reach is a buff that you will get when you complete the Blight encounter that says for the next 60 seconds, any maps that you drop can indeed fall as blighted maps instead. So pretty much what this means is if I go into a map and I clear the map, and after the Blight encounter is over, so you go into a map, you start clearing, you get the Blight, you do the Cassia thing, the lanes come, you blow it all up. You will then get Blight Reach for the next 60 seconds, and you have 60 seconds to open all of the chests and all the loot, and then run around and blitz the entire map. A lot of players don't like Blight Reach. They don't like the extra stress that it brings to the table. But if your character's really fast, you're really snappy, and you start clicking on opening chests really fast, you can really make use of Blight Reach. Now, the rest of this wheel, also very important. The rest of this wheel gives you more chance at blighted maps, and you just want to make sure that you take all of this, and it, works very well in combination. The last wheel that we're going to be taking is Blight Spawn. Blight Spawn is one of these really interesting ones. Blight Spawn says Blight bosses in your maps have a 10% chance to add an additional reward chest when defeated. So this pretty much says that Blight bosses in your map have a 10% chance. So every single one that you kill has a chance to give you more rewards and more rewards and more rewards and more rewards. One lane of your Blight encounters is guarded only by bosses. This lane is crazy. This lane is hard. This lane is stressful. This lane for a lot of builds can be very overwhelming and very difficult. You really want to experiment if your build can do this or not. If you have a build that proliferates, a build that ignites, a build that explodes, a build that really hits the entire screen, this node isn't too difficult, especially if you pair this with the Chilling Towers freeze from the Ring Annoyance, or you pair this with the Seismic Towers that pretty much stun everything. You can really control your lane a lot and take advantage of all of the Blight bosses that are spawning. The rest of the wheel set just gives you the same thing, just an additional chance for reward chests when Blight bosses are defeated. This wheel will add a lot of currency and a lot of extra rewards to your Blight encounter if and only if you can accomplish it. Now, something to note, all of these nodes for Blight do not work on your blighted maps. So this is only for an in-map experience in Cassia inside of maps. The rest of the nodes that you see that I'm taking some Scarab nodes, extra nodes are always good. I'm taking the essence nodes like I mentioned. I'm taking the chance for Blight to get my 100% Blight chance. I'm getting more quantity on the map, and I'm getting some more map effect modifiers. As I continue to fill out my atlas, because I'm only at 111 of 132, I will continue to fill out the rest of the map modifier nodes, and I'm going to be grabbing some of these nodes for higher tier chance of maps to drop. Because with the way that it works in Settlers League, for some strange reason, even with all 4 Void Stones, you can get tier 1 and tier 2 and tier 3 maps, and they will drop as blighted maps. So having these uptick chance nodes will make your life a little bit better and a little bit smoother. Now, if you're looking for help with blighted maps and you don't know how to do a blighted map, I have a ton of videos on how to do blighted maps, and I really encourage you guys to run your blighted maps, because the fact is that blighted maps have oils in them, and anything that's tier 13 or better will give you the opportunity for silver and gold and everything nice in between. Now, a bunch of people will say, do I run the tier 11s? Do I run the tier 10s? Do I run the tier 13s? What's the play? What should I do? What should I not do? I am a big fan of running all of the blighted maps. Anything that I can do very quickly, I like to do, and I will run all of my blighted maps. Now, with your blighted maps, you can indeed anoint your blighted maps to make them smoother. I am a very big fan of the triple amber, as you see above here. Triple amber oil reduces the cost of buildings and upgrading my towers by 75%. This makes it very simple and very easy. Anybody who just triple anoints any blighted maps can run blighted maps and have no problems at all. If you would like to see videos about me running the blighted maps or a very in-depth discussion on how to run blighted maps, let me know. I will happily make that video again for you guys and bring it to you. Just leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys want, and I'll make sure that it happens. Something really good to know too about blighted maps is running blighted maps has the opportunity to drop Blight Ravaged maps. These are indeed the uber version of blighted maps, and these maps are very expensive. They are about 100 CM map. And you could sell them like 2 or 2.5, 3 to a divine. Sometimes, sometimes they're a little bit more. But these uber blighted maps drop tier 14, 15, and 16, and you can get them as early as map tier 13. So, you can get silver oils, you can get gold oils, you can get Blight Ravage maps. Running blighted maps is really good. Now, if your character is completely juiced out of its mind and you want to do blighted maps and you're looking for a very good, quick way to do things, I like to do triple teal oils. This cuts the time of the blighted map down by 100 seconds shorter, which makes the map about 2.5 minutes. And it is a very good way if your character is completely juiced out of its mind to just blitz the map and make a bunch of currency. Actually, forgot the third one. You can see it's 150 seconds. If you're looking for more reward tiles, this is another option that you can do. Not my favorite option because I would rather do maps quicker, but a lot of people like to do crimson oils. Some people like to do azure oils for the cheaper ones. But if you're going to anoint your maps, I'm a very big fan of triple amber. And if you triple amber's too easy and you could do triple teal, I would do triple teal. Some people even like to do it like this, where they reduce the cost just a little bit and cut down the time a lot. I would say absolutely positively 100% of the time, run your maps and just make them as easy as possible. Triple amber oil, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Come on over to the currency tab, chisel it up, alk it and corrupt it. And because of the triple amber, we do not care at all what is on it, because we will use the towers and we will collect free loot every 5 minutes. Other things to note too, if you decide to run your own Blighted maps and you get some of these Adziri fragments, these Adziri fragments will indeed add quantity to your map and make them a lot, they'll add, I think it's like 5 or 10% per sack fragment, and adding this on will give you more loot overall. But all in all, the TLDR of today's video is very simple and very straightforward. If you alk and go your basic maps and you don't need any currency, you don't need any scarabs, you don't need any map alter, any map thing, you can alk and go all of your maps. You can run them to your 13 or higher, and you can go farm yourself Blighted maps. If you're running Cassia inside of maps and you're running your Blighted maps, you will double dip on all of the oils. And you can see here, I'm even buying opalescent oils. I'm actually overpaid for this stack of opalescent oils. And I'm literally buying and selling oils all day long, and then coming over here and converting them to silvers, and then taking my silvers and selling my silvers. I have 17 silvers right now. They're about two to a div. So I have like 8 divs worth of silver oils. I'm already at 14 divs here, plus in the other 8. When I sell those, I'll be at 21, and I'm working my way right to a mage blood. I'm fully well aware that I might kill my own market doing this, but I want you guys to be able to have a way to farm currency. I want you guys to not really be struggling in Settlers 2, and I want you guys to be able to just have a smooth sailing experience going into the rest of this league should you choose to play it. This is a very long league, and there are many ways to make a ton of currency, and today we're just going to focus on Blight and make sure that you guys know one of my favorite ways to make currency. If there's other really cool ways that you want to talk about or other farming strategies you want to share, please don't hesitate to leave a like, a comment, do all that fun stuff that YouTube loves you for, and we can make more content on other kinds of farming strategies. Or if there's something you would like to see me explore, please don't hesitate to let me know. I'm always looking for fun and crazy ideas, both build-wise and currency-wise, just to kind of get information out there for you guys. But for now, friends, I just wanted to get something very simple and very easy out there to try to help you maybe go from rags to riches, and give you a little bit of insider information on where Blight is and how it's standing in the Necropolis Settlers League. But for now, friends, I'm going to get this video all out to you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.